The M4 MacBook Air has been my go-to computer all year long because Apple basically took everything that made the MacBook Pro great, minus a couple small features, and shoved it into the body of a MacBook Air. This thing has amazing performance, especially when you consider the price. Apple has now put out the M5 MacBook Pro, and the playing field has shifted a bit, where the Pro is better than the Air again at so many different things. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the differences of the M4 Air and the M5 Pro to help you decide which of these you should buy. Thank you to B&H for loaning me this M5 MacBook Pro. They sent it to me so I could run a bunch of tests on it and compare it to all the other Apple models that are out in the lineup right now. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the similarities and the differences. Beyond just the chips and the hardware, we're going to go over a real-world performance test to help you decide if the M4 Air is the computer you should get or if the M5 MacBook Pro is going to be a better option for you. The main difference in them is actually the size of them. The Air can come either in a 13-inch or 15-inch size, and the M5 MacBook Pro only comes in the 14-inch size. Later on, we'll probably see an M5 Max and an M5 Pro chip that you can get in either 14 or 16-inch size, but the M5 standard chip will only come in the 14-inch size. The next difference is going to be in the memory bandwidth on these. The M5 raised the memory bandwidth to 153 gigabytes a second versus 120 gigabytes a second on the old M4. What this does is it actually allows the processor to talk to the RAM faster, which is going to speed up some tasks, and especially in the AI realm. Also now with the Pro, they added Neural Accelerators to all of the GPU cores, which is great because that also increases AI speed and efficiency. The Air starts at 16 gigabytes of RAM and the Pro starts at 16 gigabytes of RAM, and both of them you can upgrade to 32 gigabytes of RAM. Unfortunately, with the Air, it only starts with the 256 gigabyte SSD, which is too small in 2025. Come on, Apple, let's do better. The M5 starts with a 512 gigabyte SSD. You can go up to 2 terabytes on the Air or 4 terabytes on the Pro, which I would not recommend doing that. I would recommend picking out one of my favorite SSDs that I've got linked in the description below. The biggest physical difference in these is actually the size. So the Air weighs 2.7 pounds and the Pro weighs 3.4 pounds. So the Air is really only about less than a pound lighter than the Pro, but for whatever reason, whenever I pick up a MacBook Pro now, it feels like a ton of bricks compared to the Air. The Air is just so thin, so slim, takes up barely any space in your backpack, and it's also just very comfortable to use because of the smaller size. I also really like the keyboards on both of these, and I find both of them type very comfortably and smoothly. They've got all the same keys. The layout on them is exactly the same. The spacing on the keys are exactly the same. The Air tops out at 500 nits of brightness, and the Pro goes all the way up to 1000 nits of sustained full screen brightness, and it goes all the way up to 1600 nits of brightness for HDR content only. And it also looks better because it's a mini LED display compared to the LED display of the Air. And if you're using the Air by itself, the Air still looks great. It's still got the Retina quality. It's very sharp. It doesn't hurt my eyes at all. But the Pro definitely just takes everything up a notch. Also, the Pro has ProMotion technology, so it goes up to 120 hertz refresh rate, which just makes animations and things smoother to look at. So scrolling just feels a lot more fluid on the Pro than the Air. A lot of people complain about the 60 hertz on the Air though, and even to me, a tech guy, I feel like 60 hertz is still just fine, but the 120 hertz definitely feels really nice on the Pro. Next, let's talk some ports and speakers and other things like that. The Air has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left side, and it also has a MagSafe port, and it's got a headphone jack. The Pro has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left side, a MagSafe port, as well as the headphone jack on the left side of the computer. And then on the right side, you get an additional Thunderbolt port, a UHS 2 SD card slot, and an HDMI jack, which is really handy. There's a lot of times having that built-in HDMI port on the side of it can be really nice. Both of them also have Touch ID on them, and I find the Touch ID performance to be identical. The MacBook Pro and Air both have great sounding speakers for laptops especially, but the Pro definitely sounds better than the Air. The last big difference in design is in the thermals. The Air has a fanless design, so it's just all passive cooling, and this one will throttle if you're running a sustained heavy workload on it. The Pro has a single fan, which I think Apple really should put 2 fans in the M5. They'll probably have 2 fans in the M5 Pro and Max, just like they do with the M4 Pro and Max chip. But this chip could definitely use a little extra cooling. Let's talk some real-world performance tests. For the single-core scores on Geekbench, which is kind of the standard for testing things, they were pretty similar, although the new Pro is definitely faster than the Air. But the GPU scores on Geekbench were going up quite a bit, especially with the metal tests on the M5 and running the Geekbench AI benchmarks. I also noticed that the M5 was getting way faster speeds than the Air, over double at times on the quantized score. So the M5 is going to be a much better option for running any sort of LLMs. I also noticed that the SSD was over double the speed on the M5 over the M4 Air, which this is just going to help with that improved day-to-day performance for tasks, as well as for moving files around the computer, and it'll just keep things running snappier. The first AI software I tested was Diffusion B image generation, and I generated a cat working on a laptop with nachos on the side. And with the MacBook Air, it took 27 seconds to generate this. And with the MacBook Pro, it took 15.51 seconds, so almost double the speed on the M5. Both of these machines with GPT-OS 20B, I was noticing major improvements with the MacBook Pro over the MacBook Air. The main difference is in the time to first token, which basically just means the response time on the MacBook Pro was way faster than the MacBook Air. It honestly made the MacBook Air feel unusable for LLM work, because with the MacBook Pro, it would actually load the response way faster. So I was getting responses in 14 seconds on the MacBook Pro versus 40 seconds or even 190 seconds for the first response on the MacBook Air, which just feels really slow and like a long time to wait. And it was also able to generate tokens a little bit faster on the Pro than the Air, but the tokens, the second score, were close. It was really that time to the first token or the response time that makes the M5 a much better option if you want to do any sort of LLM work. The next test was the Xcode benchmark, where we compiled some code. This took 2 minutes and 48 seconds with the M5, and it took 3 minutes and 30 seconds with the M4 Air. Next, running Blender, I noticed significant speed increases. I ran the barbershop scene using the GPU of both of the computers, and it took 3.5 minutes on the M5 MacBook Pro, and it took 5 minutes and 34 seconds on the Air. Both of them felt the same for scrolling and moving around a scene, but it was really in the actual use of exporting projects that I noticed the difference. And this is going to be a very common theme throughout the rest of the tests that we talk about. The next test was with Logic Pro. My favorite test to do is to see how many tracks you can run running a MIDI software instrument with a bunch of effects on it. With the MacBook Air, got 104 tracks. With the MacBook Pro, 130 tracks, so just a little bit better. The next test was the bounce test, where we bounced 600 tracks offline on both of these machines. It took 5 minutes and 55 seconds on the Air and 4 minutes and 35 seconds on the Pro. And then a more realistic test was doing a 64 track bounce, which took 37 seconds on the MacBook Air and 28 seconds on the MacBook Pro. So again, just a little faster. Next test is the video exporting test, running a 3-minute project with a bunch of titles and effects and multicam clips and stuff like that. And it took 1 minute and 51 seconds to export this on the MacBook Air, 1 minute and 30 seconds to export it on the Pro, which is going to save you a lot of time if you're running longer projects. The last test is the Lightroom Classic test, and this is where I really ran into the thermal throttling issues with the MacBook Air. To export 500 raw photos to JPEG took 9 minutes and 2 seconds on the MacBook Air, just 3 minutes and 18 seconds on the M5 MacBook Pro. For day-to-day use, browsing the web, or even just using applications like Photoshop or Lightroom or Final Cut, editing things, you don't really notice a difference. It's really when you're actually telling the computer, hey, go render something, go export something, go process something, that's when the M5 goes faster. And I would say that's why the M5 is a better option if you're doing any sort of professional creative work where your time is really money, because that time will compound and save you money in the long run. That's where I really recommend getting the MacBook Pro. If you don't mind the little bit of extra weight with it and spending a little bit more money, the MacBook Pro is a really good option. The MacBook Air does start at $1,000, but you only get the 256 gigabyte SSD. I think you really need to upgrade that to 512 no matter what, because 256 gigabytes will fill up so fast. So unless you're doing everything on the cloud, I don't recommend getting that one. I actually got the 512 gigabyte SSD in the MacBook Air because I knew it would fill up super fast. And I gotta say, I still really like the MacBook Air. This one's just so lightweight, compact, it's comfortable to use. But the M5 MacBook Pro is definitely a compelling option if your workflow involves processing a lot of files, exporting, rendering, doing different creative tasks. That's when you really want to get the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air can still record music, edit videos, edit photos, but it won't offer as good of sustained performance as the M5 MacBook Pro. And especially with Lightroom, do not really recommend the MacBook Air for Lightroom because it's an Adobe application, and Adobe stuff doesn't tend to be super optimized for Mac anyways. So if you're trying to decide between the two of these, it can be a pretty tough decision because both of these are excellent machines. I would say go for the MacBook Air if you need to save the money and if you don't mind missing a couple ports on it. This one's also going to save you on the weight, and it's going to give you the smaller form factor while still giving you enough power to handle any task. But the M5 MacBook Pro is going to be a much better option if your work revolves around exporting and rendering and bouncing projects. I also think the M5 makes a lot of sense for future-proofing with the improved neural accelerators. We're not going to see all the benefits of these right away, but as more and more AI-based applications come out, that's when the MacBook Pro is going to be a better option than ever before. So if you're interested in buying either of these, I'll have links for my favorite models in the description below. Make sure you check them out at B&H because B&H is an Apple authorized retailer and they've always got some of the best prices that you can get on Mac computers. You can also sign up for their Paybu credit card. That's a great way to save even more money on Apple products. If you have any other questions about these, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear them. Also, check out the link in the description below where you can go to my website and get personalized help picking out a MacBook for your use case. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.